this game. So white play London system, a very good opening choice. E3 and knight f3. So a typical London system starts with a very solid structure. And bishop g5, h3, kick the bishop, and bishop to h5, bishop to d3. We have a very good control of this diagonal, and c3. So I think I might mention that in London system we have this pyramid structure, but I think it's equally important that London system is a very flexible opening. What does it mean? So we can always adjust our structure as the game develops. So for example, so light square bishop from our opponent coming out to h5, which means these squares or these light squares at the queen side is becoming weak. So we can hold the potential, maybe push the pawn to c4. I'm not saying we should push c4 now, we have to calculate that, but we have the potential to push the pawn to c4. If that is the case, we don't have to move the pawn to c3 right now. So maybe we want to defend knight b4. Yeah, that could be a decent reason, so we push the c pawn. Yeah, if that's the case, I'm pretty understand. We don't want the bishop being attacked, so play c3. Or another thing might be interesting, that push. You know what? Actually, after knight c6, the bishop is here. Can we just move the bishop to b5 instead? Pin the knight. And then we can push the g4, kick the bishop, and knight e5, attacking the c6 knight. Isn't that also good? So we can be flexible to analyze the weak pieces at the board. So if pawn play a6, we might take the knight. After g5, we can move knight e5, attack the pawn. How can black defend this pawn? Queen d7 is impossible, queen d6 will be punished. c5, you can win the pawn, just simple as that. e6, we can play b4 or even c6 to make the pawn safe, and we will have very good control of the center. So this is bishop b5 is really good to punish knight c6. So c3 is not bad. I'm just suggesting some alternative. Bishop d6, offering a trade. We take that. Queen takes that. Knight to d2. Queen to c2. And you know what? Potentially, because the black can move to the queen side, we can hopefully we can push the pawn to c4. So which means maybe we can move the rook to c1 and then c4 to open up the c file. The thing is, with queen to c2, we also control c file, but after c4, our queen will be kicked with knight b4. This is a little annoying. So maybe rook c1 is better than queen to c2. Or maybe push the c pawn right away. Later c5. If a knight goes to b4, we can retreat to b1 and a3 to kick knight back. Bishop to g6, we take the bishop. We don't have to take the bishop because, I mean, if we take the bishop, so first of all, if we compare the position of the two bishops, I think they are equally good. We have these two diagonals, maybe slightly better than this bishop. It only controls this diagonal. So trading the bishop doesn't favor us. It also opened up this h file. So if black take our bishop, we can kind of activate our queen to d3. So we can wait. We don't have to take the bishop. We take that, castle, long castle, and now the position is quite balanced, I think. Knight to b, yeah, this move just make, yeah, the purpose with knight d7, I think knight is going to b6. At least one of the purpose is moving knight to the queen side. So yeah, this just make our queen being attacked. I will move a3 or c4 and rook king b1, rook c1 to open up this c file. Or maybe after knight move to d7, we can push the e pawn. We can control the center. This also looks good. Kick the queen. did better knight. So we should still strive for the center. Knight b3, take, knight b2, piece exchange. The position is quite balanced. Queen b1, c5. So here we have a question. Should we take the pawn? Now we should calculate. If we don't take the pawn, the black pawn might go down, and then black has a very good space, expand the space at the queen side. Or black will take the pawn, but I don't really worry about pawn exchange because we can take that back, and I'm pretty sure we can like at least control the c file. But I'm more worried about c4. So what black will have greater control of the center. So in this case, I might choose either taking the pawn or play queen a3. So if you push the pawn, at least I can trade the queens to turn the game into endgame. So if we have the queen on the board and black has a great control at the great space at the queen side, black will become more active because black can attack our king for a6, b5, b4 with greater space at the king at this queen side. And also, more importantly, there is some threat coming up, which is the position of our queen. Our queen cannot really move. It's kind of stuck here. Queen b4. And what about, yeah, rook a4? Our queen is being trapped. This is not good. So that's the reason I recommend play queen a3. And this is also a typical move to kind of ping this pawn. But after c4, black has gone a very great space, and that's also reflecting rook a4 because of this great control at this queen side makes rook a4 possible, and the rook control this. Yeah, our queen is stuck here. Maybe b3, but it's still a problem with b3, and the rook king goes to b3. Yeah, now I think we're losing the game. Yeah, after losing the queen, it's the game is over, and we don't have to walk through the rest of the game. But I think that's a very good chance to practice London system, and yeah, I think we did good in the opening. There might be some opportunities we can catch, but it's fine. We can make it because this is new opening we're trying on. And that's it.